Hey guys, so this is the build that I ran all those maps with to find all those citadels, and well, it's a Queen of the Forest build, so it's naturally pretty fast. I got 77% movement speed when I'm on full stacks, full everything, right? So you're kind of zooming probably as fast as you can get without temporalis. Of course, you can stack a little bit more evasion, but with the budget that I did it with, that's as good as it's gonna get. And of course, since we are using Spark, our cast time is really short, and I also got a bunch of cast speed, so we don't spend more time, being slowed. So I'll just show you how it plays. It plays exactly as you would expect. You just kinda go through. Let's see what kind of map we can do. Don't really want Mire. No, we can do Hive. Yeah, let's go with this one. Who cares? So the build itself is, well, it doesn't have the biggest damage output, especially single target damage. Single target is a little bit weak. I don't recommend running bosses with this build. But for just clearing the maps themselves, it's very comfortable. You're just running and shooting every once in a while, and the mobs are just dying, sometimes off screen as well. We don't have much life, but we don't really need life because nothing hits us, right? So that's our defense layer. But you're running pretty fast, and like I have temporal chains right now on me, but good thing about Queen of the Forest is that things like that don't affect you. Chilled ground also doesn't affect you. Of course, it still affects your gas speed if you're on chilled ground, but the build is very nice for just blasting through the maps. I'm gonna pick that ring up. Surely it's gonna be good. You're just blasting through the maps, and it's very comfortable. Breaches are also pretty good with this build. Of course, the rares do sometimes take a while, but in some cases, this build actually clears breaches better than the Herald of Ice builds. For example, maps like this, where there's like a lot of walls and a little bit more walking around, since I have so much movement speed, I can just, I can stop casting and just start moving. And now, for example, I'm gonna go over here. Oh, actually, there's nothing over there. But even if I do a mistake like that, right, running into nothing, I'm still very fast, so I can get back into killing the mobs really fast. And that's probably about it. It's blocked off. Yeah, pretty much. Can we run around? Can, but there is nothing really here. But yeah, build is pretty fun to play since it's kind of brain off, kind of like in Path of Exile 1. You just walk. It kind of reminds me of Tornado Shot from Path of Exile 1, because you just walk and you press your button every once in a while, and the screen is clear most of the time. Of course, the damage can still be improved. I'll tell you just some basic things that you could do to kind of get the damage up. But yeah, this is the build. It's fun. It's one button build. If you want against boss, you can use conductivity. I also have this, but honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. So for skills, basically we have Spark. I have Considered Casting in here, Acceleration, Arcane Tempo, Inspiration, and Mobility. So later on, you would want to swap out Inspiration for Control Destruction and just drop crit in general. Right now, the crit only gives me about the same amount as this gem, so dropping it and going for lucky crits is the play, which I will be doing in one level. But I just had crit since the early stages of this build, and I just kept it till now. And I mean, it's fine, but it's not the best. However, with Control Destruction, you will be running out of mana against bosses. In maps, it's fine because we have mana on kill from Quiver. If you want, you can sock it in on Widow Hill itself, but no real need. Just prioritize mana on kill on Quiver. It's going to be plenty. And the maps, you're still going to be running just fine. You're just gonna have more damage, so mobs are gonna be dying faster, and it's gonna feel even better. Other than that, I have conductivity in here with focused curse, not mandatory. Wind Dancer. Wind Dancer you need because it gives us more evasion. Use as high level as you can. I have more than this. I just forgot to improve the jump level. Voltaic Mark for single target helps quite a bit. And of course, we are using Archmage. We only have 2.1k mana, but that's still like plus 1.5 times our damage, so it's still really good. Plus 1 level, and they have Clarity in here, so to use both of these along with Wind Dancer, you do need an amulet. That gives at least 40 spirit, like this. So this is kind of sort of the amulet that you would be aiming for. And of course I have Eye of Winter, which doesn't really do anything because the projectiles are too fast. Even with deceleration in here, they're just too fast for the boss to get a meaningful amount of stacks. So honestly, you know, as far as I'm concerned, this is just Spark, Voltaic Mark, and Conductivity. This doesn't really exist. And I guess we can go over the items. So there's 2 expensive items. Well, Widow Hail can get expensive. If you just want, you can just use a 270% and that's enough. Or lower if you're broke, right? Like you're just going to be losing 1 level, which is around 20%. No, not 20, like 10% damage, but you know. And of course, Queen of the Forest. So this one's like 9 divines or something like that. Like I bought it for 9. I'm not sure how much they're going for right now. So these are the only 2 really expensive items. Something like this with Spirit and plus 2 skills you can grab for Exalts even. Whether you're gonna get, you know, mana and life, that's a different question. I bought this amulet for 3 divines, so I have 3 sort of expensive items in here. Everything else was 1 divine or less. But of course, on the helmet, you do want to prioritize evasion, as that's how we're getting our movement speed, right? And the mana for damage, I didn't want to get any more life. There's no real need. The mobs either die or I just get 1 shot anyway, so. But most of the time it's fine. The build is fast, so you're just evading most of the hits just by moving. So get mana, get evasion. If you are struggling with dexterity, if you're a little bit early on, you can do what I did and convert 20% of the requirements to intelligence. Gloves, I got life and mana on here, as gloves tend to give a little bit less, you know, stats. I mean evasion rating. So for boots, I figured I can get some more evasion on here because most people are selling boots with movement speed. That's how the price kind of goes up, right? But if they don't have movement speed, they're just sort of worthless. So I grabbed this for like 1 divine and it's really good, right? Like it gives me everything that I need. Mana, lots of evasion, and double res and chaos res. Sadly, I forgot to take the vial for chaos res. I'm with 10 right now, but you know, it's fine. On projectile, you do want projectile speed and projectile skills, and the mana per enemy kill. Life you can switch out for dexterity. It will make itemization a little bit easier, but if you want, you can keep life per enemy killed as well. And Widow Hail, you want 270%, but if you're just starting out, you can just grab a Widow Hail with 220% and you're gonna be fine. You can also grab plus 2 projectile skills with like 20 proj speed for exalts as well, so you know, to start this build off, it's very cheap. It's just the Queen of the Forest itself that is a little bit more expensive. And then when you get to endgame, you know, you can potentially, if you want, get 320% Widow Hail, and that's, you know, another level, more damage. For the passive tree, so you do want to spec heavy into evasion. I have pretty much every single evasion node that is accessible to me. You know, all of these. And yeah, that's pretty much all of them. So this one's like I did some math on this. This is high value actually. If you're full health, of course, which you are most of the time. So you know, grab this. It's really good. This one for dodge roll. So I don't dodge roll. If I do dodge roll, I mean I can get more speed, but honestly, I think overall it's a net loss if I am dodge rolling. I'm not on full. Yeah, there we go. On full, we're at 77. And if I dodge roll, it's 82. But I don't know if it's worth it. I don't do it. But you know, you can technically get a little bit more. I am pathing towards this, but I will drop crit in general. So these nodes, all of these, I will be dropping and going for lucky damage, because this is basically like 30% damage, and then I will get control destruction, which is 30% more damage, so I will be getting 60% damage at the cost of course, some mana troubles against bosses. In maps, it's still gonna be fine, but against bosses, it's gonna be feeling a little bit bad. But yeah, this is the tree. In the jewels, I have, well, prioritize skill effect duration. That's how you're scaling damage and of course quality of life. Other than that, I have crit in here, but don't get crit, honestly. Just probably go towards lucky crits first thing, and just, you know, deal more damage. And if you're not going for crit, get a jewel like this, except, you know, without crit and chaos damage. You can also go for lightning damage, shock and magnitude, and you can also go for green jewels with quiver effect. But you know, there's breakpoints. Every 50% gives us 1 level, so you know, make sure you get at least 50, otherwise there's no point, right? Well, depends on your Widow Hill. But yeah, this is the tree. We have controlled metamorphosis in here, pretty good spot. Gives us damage, gives penetration, which is good. Later on, you know, mobs can get up to like 80% resistances with effect Atlas, you know, like this. So penetration is useful late game, just so you don't really have to, you know, lose out on damage. These are pretty good nodes. These are also pretty good nodes, surprisingly. Mana reduction, cast speed and evasion. We do lose out on 1 point. This does nothing for us, but you know, it's still fine. And I also path towards this one. Mana regen, intelligence, and cast speed. But yep, this is the build. I do enjoy it. It makes me feel like I'm playing Path of Exile 1 yet again, even more than the Deadeye that I had with Lightning Rods and Stormcaller Arrow. This is just, you know, faster blasting, which is good. And you can find those citadels faster, right? But yeah, that is it for today. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye.